you are creating the curriculum. You are finding you, because I know you say, the night before, you already know what they need. You print off worksheets. You're doing this, you're finding this curriculum. You don't have a set, like a box curriculum or a book or anything like that.
So I use a mixture of different things.
Okay.
I use adapted mind. Bear
Okay.
with me. I'm going to put in my um battery charger real quick because I don't want this to shut off on us. But
Okay.
um I do use adapted mind just for the math portion, just a supplement. And I also use, there we go. I'm back in business. Girls are back in town. Yeah. So um I also, here's one thing, because I'm not rich. Okay. Listen, I run a traditional publishing house. My authors do traditional as in money comes from the publisher to the author, never from the authors to the publisher. My authors do not pay my publishing house for anything. Um, so I am not rich. And that being said, as a homeschool teacher, if I see things at the Dollar Tree, if I see things at discount bins, if I see any type of worksheet that deals with what we are currently doing, phonics or otherwise, money, time, I don't care. If I see it says third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, it does not matter. I'm scooping it up and I'm going to hold it and I'm going to have it and we're going to re-reference it. So I would say, like, I'm familiar with the different curricula that's out there. And I think for new parents that are just kind of like, hey, I'm not really sure what's going to work for me and what's not, definitely try those out. I got my degree in computer information systems. My mind works a little bit differently. And I'm very much that type of mom that just wants my kids to have that freedom to learn. So I'm like, as long as you can read, write, and count, I'm good. Because we've just opened up the doors of the world to you. And that's it for me. So I'm like, what do you want to do? Whatever you want to be and whatever you want to do, mommy's going to put it in front of you. And right now, I still use that guide map that my mom gave me. So I was like, okay, my son's in fourth grade. Okay, this is where he should be at in science and math, and this is where he's supposed to be at in social studies. I will admit, I struggle with the history, and especially in being in Virginia, in the first slave state, the history, and I don't want my kids learning a Eurocentric history. So when it comes to like society and history, my kids are not all the way there yet. I feel like I'm still kind of protecting them against that. I am always open. This is why Homeschooled Heroes exists, because I'm always open to curricula that will be Afrocentric, but also world-centric. I want my kids to learn about the world, but not through the European lens. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Like if it's a Black person that's like, yeah, I'm about to teach you about Spain, I'm about to teach you about Portugal, and I'm about to teach you about China, we can do that. I think what I'm trying to separate my kids from is that bias that we were exposed to when it came to learning about the world, because it was through a very biased lens that still left us feeling very like closed off from the world. And we see that now to this day, where other cultures and countries, they can speak several languages. And here we are still, we are literally the cultural melting pot of the world, but we only speak one language. That is an issue. So.
And it's wild that America doesn't see that as an issue. It's so funny. I tell bilingual people all the time, because I'm in Arizona. I call this little Mexico. How intelligent they are, like to be able to go between two languages simultaneously. Like, do you know what kind of brain power that's using? Mind you, I took like 4 years of Spanish, like 2 years in high school,
Thank
two
you.
more years in college, and I
I
still
ain't
ain't
got
got nothing.
lingo.
I am on Duolingo right now with Morgan. Me and my 8-year-old are learning Spanish together, okay? Because I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't see the value in it. Nobody really told me about the value in it. And here I am living in whole Mexico right now, and
You
boom,
know
can't speak nothing.
that part. I had to learn the hard way when I was in California and I became a 911 dispatcher. And I was like,
Oh wow.
I was
Hold on, let me get somebody.
un momento, por favor. All I know is puedo ir al baño because that was what I used to say at the beginning
The
of the
bathroom.
class. May I go to the bathroom? May I go to? Because that was her rule. Her rule was like, if you ask it in Spanish, I'll say yes, and you can have it. I'm really glad that never backfired on her, by the way, because we did have some boys in our class, but thankfully, maybe she was just gauging the fact that like they would never take the initiative to learn anything that would make me have to say yes to anything crazy they asked in Spanish.
Yeah.
I think that's what she was gambling on, and thankfully she won that gamble. But her
She ain't
rule at
doing
the
it.
beginning of
Look,
the
she ain't
class
doing it in
was
2025.
you couldn't do that in 2025. You could not. These kids would have been jumped in the chat BT asking her